All right, Nathan, thank you. A hot forecast leading into a fiery private meeting between President Donald Trump and Senator Bill Cassidy is now spilling into public view.
Yeah, the Louisiana Republican says the two got into a shouting match over how the administration handled the conflict with Iran. Ed O'Keefe has more on the fallout.
Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy got into a shouting match with President Trump in a private meeting Wednesday, telling him the administration hasn't been honest with the American people about the war with Iran.
If you're not telling me answers, I'm going to push for those answers.
This morning, Cassidy told Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan that Trump was upset that he and 3 other Republicans voted with Democrats to block any further U.S. military action against Iran without congressional approval.
So when the president was berating the 4 people that voted for the War Powers Act, frankly, I'm not there to be berated. And the president wasn't invited to dish out verbal abuse.
But that's what he did.
I raised my hand. I said, Mr. President, do you just want, is that a rhetorical question that you're asking, why do we vote for it? Or are you really interested? He goes, I'm really interested. I stood up and I said, this is why. And I listed those objectives that I did not see being achieved and how the kind of endpoint of the war kept stretching out longer and longer. He began to speak over me. Unfortunately, I raised my volume to match his, and we spoke to each other like that. Or, shall we say, spoke at each other, not to each other. Now, I shouldn't have lost my temper. Nor should he. But, you know, my wife will tell you, every now and then my Irish temper gets the best of me.
The schism frustrates other Republicans who were hoping to spend this week touting passage of a bipartisan bill to provide more affordable housing.
I want to focus on the fact that we are making headway with getting our economy back on track. I want to focus on these things, not these unforced errors that we're having to deal with.
Another point of disagreement between the president and fellow Republicans is the Save America Act, legislation he wants passed that would enact stricter controls over voting across the country ahead of the midterm elections. But Republicans continue to tell him they don't have enough votes in the Senate to get the legislation passed. Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, the White House.